Welcome back to Omen Exitio Plague. I'm your host, City. If you've enjoyed this series so far, why not leave a like and subscribe and hit that bell button so you can stay up to date and see more. Anyway, let's get to reading. You try to wriggle into a new position within the confined space of the cave. You have been here for hours, and every part of your body is aching. The idea was that after a sufficiently long time, the cultists would come to the conclusion that you are dead, as the rest of the village. It is a thought that only reinforces your sense of guilt. Hey, don't feel guilty. Not like conveniently all the villagers died, just like conveniently all the people in the ship died just before. The sun is disappearing over the horizon of the ocean. Aida is holding Fuego in her arms. He obviously has less physical difficulty being in this confined space, but he had just recovered from the disease when he had to witness the deaths of all the people close to him in the world. Nonetheless, his face is composed, even a little proud. Night has fallen. It's been several hours since you last heard the shouts and other noises of the cultists searching the jungle. It is reasonable to suppose that they have by now abandoned their search. Thinking that they have killed everyone, or that if everyone has escaped, they are long gone. You leave the cave and move silently towards the beach, where the canoes are. Fortunately, you are still extremely cautious, because near the pirogues, there are two armed cultists. Take them out. Another means, wait. Observation. What's it at? Alright. Observation it is. Analyze. Studying their movements. Give me that delicious XP. The men still seem to have a military aspect. You tell Aida to be ready. According to your observations of their movements, one of them will soon go off to patrol the other side of the beach, and that will be the moment to move. The two cultists have been immobile and silent for some time when one pulls something from his coat pocket. You cannot see what it is until his face is illuminated by a small flame which lights his cigarette. His partner starts walking away, probably to patrol the other side of the beach. This could be your only chance. Approach or trick. Agility. Oh. See, that's risky. I don't want Fuego to get killed. That's probably a bad idea. Let's try it. Crap. Please don't let anyone die. You creep slowly and cautiously down the beach. But he hears you before you're close enough. He turns and pulls out a pistol. You rush at him, trying to disarm him, but he gets in two hard punches to your stomach, then down to your knees, doubled up in pain. The cultist loom over you and aims his pistol. Instead of the expected shot, however, there is a thud, and he falls unconscious to the ground. Left in his place there's Aida, with a large stone in her hands. It seems they were determined to stop anyone from escaping. They have damaged the canoes to make them unusable. Upon further inspection, you find that one pirogue, which is less damaged than the others and should still float. It won't be able to carry all three of you though. You shake with anger and frustration. You were so close. Go, Fuego knows the way. You angrily refuse. You have been arguing about it for some time, when you both suddenly realize that Fuego is gone. Aida stops herself shouting with her hand. No. You look for him in vain. The brave, stubborn boy made a difficult decision for you. You keep looking for him until the sky begins to brighten. Despite your suffering, you can't let his sacrifice be in vain. Aida, silently weeping, helps you push the pirogue into the water. With a sigh, you sit and pick up your paddle. With a heavy heart, you drift away from the island. Well, if that's the boat, there's plenty of space. But I don't think that would be the actual boat. Yikes, the agility. Not put any more points on agility for a while. The sun reflects off every single wave. You are surrounded by immensity of the ocean. You have no concept of how much time has passed, and you are laying dazed in the pirogue. Your skin is taut, cracked, and burnt by the unrelenting sun. Thirst has overtaken you, and you have no strength to paddle whatsoever. The boat is now at the mercy of the wind and the currents. You do not understand how, but at some point Aida lost her bearings. It might have been the pain of losing Fuego, the panic of the escape, or perhaps it was just that the current altered your course and she didn't notice. Whatever the reason, it means that instead of reaching the island you intended, you are now drifting helplessly, surrounded by an infinite expanse of flat water. With great effort, you manage to lift your head. You look at Aida, who's lying in the other part of the canoe. It looks like she is breathing, but you cannot be certain. It may just be a slight rise and fall of the ocean. You let your head fall back down. It is too hard to keep it raised for long. But that's not good. Suddenly your fingers feel wet. At first you suspect your mind playing tricks on you, but then it feels increasingly real. Is the pirogue sinking? You lift your hands to see, but it's not water in your fingers, but blood. Oh god. We're having one of our psycho dreams again. That's not good. In front of you, Helen is splayed out on the bed. The sheets are soaked in blood, but it keeps flowing from her mouth, body, and eyes, like red tears. Why didn't you save me, Jake? Don't listen to it. It's just a sun-fueled fever dream. Instinctively, you want to scream. That is not what happened. Approach despite the blood. Let's approach. Because we don't want it to shout like that, no. Let's approach despite all the blood. You take a few steps towards Helen. Blood is now flowing faster. The whole bed is red. But is it because of the blood? Or is it the color of the sheets? Jake, please don't leave me. She opens her arms. She is beautiful again. The one in front of you now, you are Helen. Why are you doing this to me, Helen? Or embrace? Let's question. Helen bursts into laughter. It is the same sweet laugh that you've always loved, but now there's a jarring metallic ring to it. Why am I doing this, dear Jake? Because you did it to me first. Helen takes your hands. At first you let her, and then you try to pull away, and then when you try to pull away, you find that her grip has become iron-like. A sound starting low begins to rise up. You catch movements out of the corner of your eyes, as if something is crawling inside the walls of your bedroom. The movement seems to grow, and now the walls are pulsating slowly, as if something living is pushing on them from behind. You again try to free yourself, but find that it's impossible. She brings her face closer to yours and whispers in your ear, "Shush, my love, don't be afraid. There was this being, made of millions of parts, which crawled inside me, and you just let it happen. Now you must let this being crawl inside you too." Yeah, let's just face it. I think that we're crazy. We are just batshit insane. The walls began to crack, and the crack began to spread and widen. Though the cracks pushed terrible black shapes, like tendrils, searching to suffocate the air itself. As they slowly grew out of the walls, they begin to look like roots or tentacles. Then you become aware they are not moving, growing randomly, they are reaching towards you. A sharp pain tears you from the nightmare. Perhaps you had some sort of seizure in your dream, because now your whole body is racked with painful cramps. You feel tremendous heat, but it is not the sun. It is inside your body. It is fever, and it is rising. You try to sit up and call to Aida, but the canoe is rocking. With great difficulty, you clutch the edge of the boat and haul yourself up. The sea is calm. You see Aida leaning over the sea. She has sunstroke and has probably gone mad in the heat. You try to shout to stop her, but you are too late and you watch her fall overboard. All the effort you possibly can muster, you try to reach out to her, but you are physically incapable of moving. She floats almost motionless at the surface of the water. She does not even have the energy to pull her head out of the water. You make another desperate attempt to grab her foot, but you lose consciousness and fall back into the boat. The last image you see is Aida's body drifting away. You come to, pass out several times. When you find yourself getting conscious, you try to open your eyes and to move, but you are unable. When you're finally able to open your eyes, it is night. It is much cooler, and the drop in temperature relieves your pain somewhat. Your physical pain, at least. You think sorry of Aida, of Fuego, and all the villagers. All the lives you were unable to save. Like Helen's too. You cough, and the sudden movement gives you searing pain in your chest, your shoulders, and your arms. Perhaps your time has come. You close your eyes. You are ready. When you open your eyes again, you see little tongues of mist reaching over the backsides of the pirogue. Then you black out again. So, is this going to be the end? Or is there going to be more to the story? I mean, this story's gone longer than I expected. So who knows what's going to happen? Hey! Achievement unlocked. Finishing Chapter 3, Overseas Escape. 98 experience, nice. A loud and violent noise brings you back to consciousness. It takes you some time to recognize what it is. The foghorn of a ship. Your little pirogue is suddenly hit by large waves, despite the lack of wind. There is another foghorn blast just before you lose consciousness yet again. Something big is coming. You are lying, staring at the ceiling, which seems to be pulsating and rocking slowly and steadily. Suddenly you're convinced that it is about to break and come crashing down on you. So you flinch involuntarily. There's no way of knowing whether this latest hallucination is a result of your long days spent drifting, charged on the open seas, or some other mysterious cause. No, it's real. The bed in which you find yourself in is soft and comfortable, but you cannot really enjoy it. In fact, you feel a certain amount of revulsion. It is too soft, too calm. You are half expecting fearsome, dark and slimy appendages to begin emerging from the sheets to suffocate you at any moment. After having spent several weeks at sea, at the mercy of the wind, tide, and currents, you are picked up by a ship and taken to the United States of America. All your memories, the island, the cold, Aida, are tangled up together, like a confused vortex in your mind. They are strange, distant images, but nonetheless, you find it increasingly difficult to distinguish them from your present reality. Yikes. That is definitely... Yeah, no. I think our character needs therapy. A polite rap at the door says that food's prepared for dinner. You open your eyes. You have been in this hotel for the past 2 days. When the captain made it known that the sunburnt drifter was in fact a scholar from London, the University of New York offered to help out so you could return to England, and so they give you a bed, food, and a small sum of money, sufficient for essentials. Maybe we should stay in New York. The new place. You can put away the distant but violent memories of your past. We'll see. Considering whether or not to accept the invitation to dinner, you see a note being slipped under the door. Attendant. Oh wait. A note for you. Wait for the man outside the door to go away. Now let's pick it up now. You jump out of the bed and have only taken a step or two towards the door when a rush of blood to your head makes you see stars. The walls of the room are spinning to infinity. All around you see faces and eyes in dark fractal arrangements. They are everywhere. On the walls, on the floor, and even on your skin. The headrush subsides. The walls of the rooms appear to have returned to normal levels of solidity. You rub your temples, take a few deep breaths, and finally go over to pick up the note. Still at the threshold of the door, you open the envelope and begin reading. Dear Dr. Huntington, my name is John Baptiste Martin, biologist and surgeon. I heard about you from various and fragmentary reports here at the university. I am as curious as everyone to hear about the story of your shipwreck and salvation, but perhaps even more so about the rumor that you are a doctor. Yeah, I guess it's our chance to tell the world about the cult. They don't believe us, but we can still talk about the island and the people that were destroyed. I think I heard, while questioning one of the men on the ship, which brought you to New York, the name of Martinez Willenbergenik. And I would like to invite you to my home laboratory, so I might discuss various matters, which will no doubt be to our mutual interest. Yours sincerely, Jean Baptiste Martin. Hey, is this the guy who was helping us against the cult? Because if so, that'd be great. Also in the envelope is a business card with an address. On the back, in beautiful calligraphy, is the time at which you are expected tomorrow. The invitation has astounded you. Over the past few days in New York, you have been feeling like a sort of performing monkey. At dinner, for example, you have felt inquisitive glances on you from all sides. For once not threatening, but impertinent nonetheless. This, however, is the first interest you have received from a colleague. We'll see. He could also be another cultist. Ooh, we gotta be careful. Well, I mean, we can go buy a gun. Probably wouldn't be that hard. On one hand, you consider it perfectly normal that your sudden mysterious recovery from the sea should create curiosity. But on the other, you cannot help but be suspicious of the letter.